Not like that!
Jessica McNamee, Victoria Thane, and the best looking of them all, producer Mark Lazarus.
Obviously the first question is going to be, where's Lola?
Lola's dead. No, Lola's on stage at the moment. She's doing A Streetcar Named Desire with Kate Blanchett, but
So I mean, you brought us the great line, "It boils your brains." Okay, so just tell us about how you came to come up with the idea for this. Like, I mean, you're obviously a fan of horror films, and where did you come for the idea of this sick little prom date?
Well, I was looking for something that didn't have too many locations, and I just had this idea. I had this idea of if what if you sort of fused the Evil Dead and Carrie, and took kind of the prom, the rituals of the prom, the dancing and the mirror ball and the crowning of the king and queen, and turn that into the instrument of horror. And so bring the prom to the cabin, or in our case, the farmhouse, and that was kind of the germ of the idea. But in terms of drilling into somebody's head and pouring in boiling water. Jeffrey Dahmer actually got there first, so.
And same here. This role was unbelievable. Like what you brought to that. I mean, when we first met tonight, I couldn't believe that you were what I saw on screen. I just want to congratulate you on that. So, when you saw the script, what attracted you to it?
That's a good question. I kind of flicked through it looking for the bits of dialogue. And it was just kind of scream. So, look, it's great to kind of to read a horror film that has a degree of complexity and a bit of comedy in there as well. So, yeah.
And Jessica, your role of kind of the stoner goth queen. What can you tell us about? Are you all fans of horror films, or what attracted you to the project?
Is this a question for me? Are you?
Yes.
I mean, look, I'm not the biggest lover of horror films. In fact,
I saw you
cringing
a little there.
like this, but it was a great script, and for me in particular, I just thought it was a really interesting character, and it was a lot of fun to play. So, I mean, reading through the script, I just thought all the characters were great. I think the great thing about this film, a lot of horror films can be purely just based on the gory stuff, I guess, but this is really character-driven, and the characters are really strong throughout the film. So it kind of has a real soul, I think, as well, and that's definitely, what attracted me to the film.
Okay, you have to excuse me because I sound like Xavier did for most of the film. I've been enjoying your festival far too much. Sean did a short film called Advantage, which was at Sundance in 2008. And so when I read the script, I'm not a fan of horror, and I was kind of like, oh, this could be a piece of shit. Like, it's going to be terrible. But then I saw Sean's short film, and he has an incredible visual style and a great sense for the pacing that this kind of film needs. And so that's why I wanted to do it. Plus, I wanted to kick someone in the head, a girl, But I love that the female characters are like three really strong female characters, and there's like Sean's visual style kind of comes across in the female characters. I'm kind of like all pastel colours and really nice. Jessica's just kind of all dark and goth. And then you've got Lola, who's hot pink and just seriously fucked up. So, that's all I have to say.
introduced, you've added to the kind of the pantheon of Australian dirty horror films.
Oh yeah.
What was the biggest challenge in mounting this production?
Other than dealing with Sean Byrne's vision, no, that wasn't that at all. Look, getting any film up is hard. It's like rolling a boulder uphill, and trying to do everything he wanted to do to try to make his vision come to fruition with not a lot of resources. And I think there was a moment where we were talking one day and we realized that the last third of this movie is not a horror movie in a sense; it's an action movie. So we were trying to do Jerry Bruckheimer, with a fraction of the budget. And I think, and you just have to be really, really careful. And I have to say, you've never seen anyone prepare like Sean does. I mean, absolutely, completely dedicated to getting the shots and reimagining and visualizing it all. And that makes my job easy once we're out there.
I think, the most horrific scene for me was climbing the rock face. Because it was my birthday the day we shot that, and I was convinced that I was going to die. I think someone sent me a crucifix or something. It kind of arrived, and I was like, oh god. And I'm kind of looking at this tiny little bracket that's holding me between certain death. So that was kind of, and also kind of not having a lot to say and kind of working on this inner dialogue. It's a challenge.
Can I just say the most horrific scene for me was having to go down on Xavier in a really tiny V-dub.
We had Lola's song cleared before we started shooting because we knew that was her song. and also Lonesome Loser by the Little River Band that opens the film, and Brent's dad singing along to it, so we needed that in place. And other than that, I mean, I think about 60% of the songs stayed as they were picked before we started shooting, and it was a matter of clearing them. And during the edit, we found some other songs that sort of fitted the tone a little bit more. But I think there's 20 songs in all. It's a cool soundtrack. I hope we get to release it.
When does the movie get released in Australia?
Is it January or February?
We don't know yet, but sometime early next year.
We were talking about Valentine's Day for the heart. I hadn't seen that before, and I'm from Tasmania, and we're pretty close down there.
You're just spitting the note here.
I mean, for me, it's where does Princess come from, and I think Daddy is the Frankenstein, and he probably would have been a serial killer, but he probably kind of existed on the periphery of society, and when Princess was born, I think he kind of felt something for the first time, and she sort of brought him back to life, and he would do absolutely anything for her, and just with Bright Eyes, I kind of. This is just a little tiny bit of backstory, but I think like the first boy that ever turned Princess down when she was about 5. I think Bright Eyes, or Princess's mum, was probably going to report it to the police, and so then Daddy had to make a choice between Bright Eyes and Princess, and he chose Pink. I'm not sure whether I answered the question, but I was just stating the conscience gambling. Sorry.
We're launching these films. A lot of these films do not have any distribution. This is the first time that the buyers are seeing the films. So hopefully at the end of the week, there might be an answer. Who knows? I mean, that's the kind of the fun excitement of this. You guys are like the first audience to see it outside of Australia because it's screened at Melbourne Film Festival. And so who knows where the film's going to go from here. So hopefully it'll be coming to theaters near us. All right, thank you very much. Thank you guys, everyone.